Okay, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve on Rock Australia. No, it's not Rock Australia Radio.
Cut!
Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve on NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do every week, we are going to talk about the NRL and the latest round. And gentlemen, round 18 has just completed.
Yes.
And before we start, how are you tonight?
Take 4, yes.
Yeah, we've had a few takes at this point.
Technical difficulties.
Yes. Like I said, the pre-show is probably just as good as the show. Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Yep, feeling
Brian?
relaxed.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, you're feeling fired up tonight? Big show tonight. You've got a few things that you need to talk about.
I do.
But he's saving them.
But I'm saving them.
Okay.
I always get in trouble because I start talking about stuff and then you say, hang on, we've got to do the games. And
Okay.
yeah, that's all right.
Well, hang on, we've got to do the games.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's go into round 18, gentlemen. We're at last Thursday night, Friday the 13th. The Cronulla Sharks beat the Panthers at Panther Stadium 24-12.
Yes.
But it was very close at the end.
Did you go home and watch this game?
It was 18-12.
No.
We all both had commitments that Friday night, so we
Yeah.
didn't see the game.
It was a very good game.
Can I just say, just before...
You didn't tell me off air that you had commitments, and now I'm
We
asking
knew
you
what our
questions.
commitment was.
Yes, I do, but I thought you watched the replay.
No.
Oh, I watched the highlight
So do we start the
passage
show
and-
again? Okay, go on.
No. I said last week, I'll put in my joke around for these tips. So let me just tell you,
Did.
Yes, you did.
We'll just run through that as we go. I tipped the Panthers. That's 0 out of 1.
Because I looked at your score at the end of this weekend and I thought, not bad. 6 out of 8. That's pretty good. And I realised you got 3 out of 8. You played the Joker.
It's all right. I didn't do much better than you this week. So.
Did you use your joker?
No, I didn't.
No.
We're saving them.
All right, yeah.
Look, I mean, 5 minutes to go, probably even less. This was 18-12, and Penrith looked like they were actually going to come back.
Yeah.
But Moylan did the dirty on Penrith and broke through, and Valentine Holmes scored. So.
Yeah, I did see that highlight, and that was a terrifically good pass. And Holmes was just on speed. When he grabbed the ball, he was on speed already. It was terrific.
In fact, I'll be honest with you, I actually think this was one of the better games. I thought the football this weekend was a little bit average. Some very average decisions by referees, which we'll go through later before Brian gets warmed up. But no, this one, I thought this was a good quality game.
Absolutely.
This was good.
Yep. There's not much to say about it. I mean, it was without a lot of controversy.
Yes.
And look, the Sharks are sort of, well, I guess they're flying under the radar a little bit because they're sitting nicely and they're about to get some big names back.
Yep.
So they're going to be dangerous, I think, in the finals.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And Moylan, I think, had his best game.
And the Panthers, I don't know what's going on with them. I mean,
Well,
they had
their
players out, I know. But they're just not convincing at the moment.
Well, look, at Penrith Stadium, I think they have been all year, but, it's just, they had too many players out, I think, against a lower team, they probably would have won.
And I took the Panthers based on the previous week's performance.
Yeah.
Where they lost against Manly.
No,
Like I said,
they the one with Joseph Luai.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jerome Luai.
Where they beat the Warriors.
Yeah, and that was a really good performance without their Origin stars.
Yeah, but that's what I keep saying. Like they've got the experience counts for a lot.
Yeah.
Counts for a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next game on Friday evening. Was at McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Newcastle Knights beat Parramatta 18-16.
Yep.
And I tell you what, Parramatta could have easily won this. It was very close.
I'm running 0-2 now.
Well, 0-2.
Yeah, I went the Eels. Well, this was a game of patches, I thought.
It was. It wasn't a good game.
At times, Newcastle played really well. and they had all the running, and they looked strong, and they were going to run over the top of Parramatta.
Yep.
A couple of minutes later, Parramatta are looking strong, like they're going to come home. It was just, I don't know. It was two teams that were out of touch
and sloppy.
Yeah,
a lot of drop ball, a lot of missed tackles. It really,
I tipped this on the back of Mitchell Pearce being back.
Yeah,
and I think he was the difference. I mean,
without
because
doubt,
he touched the ball just about every play.
Yeah,
he, and at last they had someone they could be confident in to go to. And he did some really valuable things on the field. And look, they only won by 2, but I think he was the difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well done there, Steve.
My daughter's ringing me. Do you want me to answer it on air?
No.
You weren't supposed to notice.
Yeah. I thought Corey Norman played really well. Probably his best game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but there's something wrong with Parramatta. I mean, there was a stage there where Corey Norman got tackled in goal, and he was yelling at his players to state that they should have stayed out wide because he wanted to pass to him.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of harmony in that team. There really
and not a lot of cohesion between Norman and Moses.
No,
as was suspected before.
If you were to take the Parramatta team and put it side by side on paper against Newcastle, Parramatta has by far the better team, and I mean by far.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Jared Hayne had another good game.
Well, he was the difference. I think if it wasn't for Jared Hayne,
that score could have been anything. Yeah,
18-0.
Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah,
so, back to vintage Jared Hayne almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
In patches. Yeah.
And the coaches come out and said, no, we definitely want Jared at the club next year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Look, I don't know. What do you say about Parramatta?
There isn't a lot next year.
Yeah, they're thinking about next year now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so because I don't want to finish below them as a Seagulls supporter.
As a Seagulls supporter,
yeah.
You don't want to finish below them, but you
no,
but you may.
No, not yet.
Okay, let's go on to Saturday afternoon, ANZ Stadium. My daughter keeps ringing me.
Well,
do I think I need to tell her I'm on air?
Maybe you should.
No.
Do you need to pause?
No.
Okay.
We won't pause. We're just going to talk about.
We can talk or you text.
We're just talking.
You text her.
This is really professional. I'm going to text my daughter and say, "Leave me alone."
That's right.
Is this an emergency? So
yes.
You want to be seen by the viewers.
The viewers, as compassionate, caring. Compassionate, caring. Yeah.
You want to be at least give the impression of that anyway.
That's true. And look, she doesn't watch anyway, so I could say anything.
So yes, look, I thought the Dogs were very willing. They're just a class below the Rabbitohs, and the Rabbitohs were very sluggish at the beginning, extremely sluggish.
Yeah, Jennings has gone to the top of the try scoring ladder now with another treble.
But even this game was not that good. I mean, the first 20-25 minutes, South was sloppy. The Dogs were very good in the first 20 minutes.
Yep.
They really seemed to have South's measure, and then something kicked in for South, but South are really starting slowly the last few weeks, and it is a bit of a worry.
And it's still ominous that they're still putting 24 points on a team when they're not playing that well.
That's right.
Well, yeah, I mean they had less ball, less possession, less everything, and they still managed to win comfortably.
Yeah.
You can't ask. I don't know. You should be happy with that, Steve.
Oh, I am. Look, I'm happy with any win, but I'm worried. Look, the next 2 games South should win, but after that they have 3 tough games.
Yep.
So those 3 tough ones are the Roosters, Melbourne and Brisbane. And those ones, I think they're really going to have to pull up their socks. They can't be playing like they did against the Dogs this week or against
Brisbane's not your last game, is it?
No. We then have Tigers or Parramatta again, and then Tigers, I think.
Okay.
So
because Brisbane will be playing for their season around about then, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
No. Look. Well done, the Bunnies. I'm glad that I picked one right so far that round, and I was quite
a no-brainer.
Well, yeah, but you never know. So I thought the first 2 were as well.
Adam Reynolds continues to have a brilliant season.
He's playing very well at the moment.
Angus Crichton does some fantastic things and he does some dumb things.
He gets excited with himself. I think he does get excited.
Same with in Origin, that
he makes some poor decisions in attack. I think.
But the good news, I guess, is that's a maturity thing, I guess, and that will come with time.
That's right. While he's at the Roosters.
That's right. Yeah, we'll fix him up.
You had to do that, didn't you?
Hey,
I did.
You know,
he opened the door. I just walked in,
and you took the bait.
I didn't take the bait. He opened the door. I walked in.
Hey, I was just throwing it out there.
Thank you, Brian.
Look, anyway, that's all right. He's like every other player. He's replaceable, unless your name's John Sutton. Then it's not. But other than that,
Sandwiches.
okay, except for
Greg Inglis.
except for Greg and Nathan Merritt.
Adam Reynolds?
Merritt.
Huh?
Adam Reynolds?
No, you give it a Reynolds and Heartbeat if you found somebody better.
No, I wouldn't.
Because he's just heartless.
Oh, that's a harsh...
It is.
Actually, you know what? I'll defend Steve on this one.
Please do it. Go.
No, I don't think Adam Reynolds is the greatest player in the game.
He's not.
No, but I think he's got a solid kicking game. He's a great goal kicker. He directs the team well around the park. And what more do you want from your halfback? And you know what?
Through.
And he's hard. He gets belted sometimes in games, and he just gets up again.
I've got heaps and heaps of respect for Adam Reynolds.
No, you just said you'd dump him.
No, I know. I said he'd dump him.
Oh, please.
He'd dump him in a heartbeat.
Steve, that's just terrible. I can't believe you can let him talk to you like that.
It's Tom. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Well, let's get on with the next game.
Oh, the next game. The next game
Is there
was
another game?
There is. The next game is at Brookvale Oval, and it still says Brookvale Oval at the ground.
It says Lotto Land on here.
Doesn't matter.
And it says Lotto Land at the ground.
Anyway.
Oh,
who did Manly play?
Steve, will you put that phone away?
Who did Manly play?
Oh, who cares? We ripped off. We played the referee.
Hang on. We have a person who watches us every week. Sally.
Hi, Sal.
Who loves Melbourne. You can't put Melbourne down. They deserved to win.
No,
well,
they didn't. Look at it.
We just don't want to disenfranchise Sally completely.
Look at that. He's grinning at me because he knows. He knows.
Hey, if you can open the door, so can I. Okay?
Look, Sally and I have had a long chat. Sally, by the way, Manly lost to the Storm 13-14.
And Sally, I'm so glad you didn't go to Brookvale. It is a horrible ground to watch a game.
It was -17.
Oh, it was so cold. Actually, funny story. I'm sitting there because I'm a Nigel. I just went to the game on my own.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and the guy, there's this guy and his two kids show up next to me, and it is absolutely freezing. So I've got jersey on, wind cheater on, and a poncho. Like, I am cold as ice. This bloke rocks up. He's got a t-shirt and a jumper on, thongs and shorts. I'm looking at this bloke going, mate, are you all right? But anyway, it turns out he's a Parramatta supporter, so no brain, no pain. That was just crazy, and he was freezing.
I honestly, I have to say, I think Manly were ripped off. That penalty where Melbourne got it in front of the post towards the end, the score was 13-12.
Yep.
And it was an accidental offside.
Right.
Came off his head, so he obviously played at it.
How did it... Look, there are some really strange decisions this weekend, and just bizarre decisions.
You know.
Interestingly enough, though, every strange decision that we think is wrong went for the team that was favourite to win.
Yeah,
Keep that.
I'm not making any comment on that. Look, I'll tell you what, it was tough being there at the game because, I must admit I was sitting amongst a little enclave of Melbourne supporters. So
you're just a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
Oh well, look, you got to have a bit of banter. You see when you're at the footy. So it's like when I went to see Souths and Manly play. I sat, in the borough, wherever it is that you guys all sit, and
members area.
Yeah, so all these people with no teeth that you hurl on abuse at me.
There goes our South watchers.
But the first try that Vunivalu scored, they showed it on the big screen, and as it's gone up, the ref's gone, I've got a try, and they showed it on the big screen, and all the Melbourne supporters just go, because everybody saw that it was forward.
Yeah.
And then they ruled it a try, and it was kind of like, and they're all, yes, this is great.
Yeah, but did they bunker can't rule on forward passes?
Yeah, but it was obvious. Yeah, I know. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. They were ruling on the put down.
I'd like the bunker to rule on forward passes, but they get one look at it. Does it look forward? Then it's a forward pass. If you have to analyse it, forget it. But if
later on in the game, just before Brody Croft scored, Melbourne had 3 decisions go their way that were 50-50 calls that should have went the other, well, maybe less than 50-50 calls. So at one point, Cameron Smith put in a kick. It's gone towards the dead ball line. Melbourne have come over. They've claimed a try. And then the ref ruled that Tom Trbojevic had forced the ball. No going upstairs, no anything. And when it was actually shown, he grounded the ball over the dead ball line and flicked it back into Tom, who had no choice but to grab the ball.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, it's a line dropout to Melbourne.
Yeah, I sort of thought, I'm sort of okay with that.
Okay, in the next set, Melbourne put in a dodgy kick, and John O'Wright grabs the ball, runs upfield, 2 blokes in it. You see him do this. You see the Melbourne arm come up and down, and he's ruled a loose carry. Yeah. Melbourne score from that next set.
Yeah,
like it was just those little things, and then obviously the penalty at the end where, you know, obviously you play at the ball if you hit it with your head.
Well, let me tell you, Sean Lane's first try, there was separation there.
Oh, no, there wasn't.
It was. I watched that.
You can't talk about separation. You're going to have your gun coming up.
No, but I'm saying, if you're going to nitpick about stuff, there was definitely separation.
Yeah, but separation at the slower speed that you can get.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're nitpicking, that's the point. We shouldn't be nitpicking about stuff.
No, well,
the penalty I get, and that was a crucial point of the game.
You know, look, Manly were great, and I have one complaint. I have one complaint about the coach overall. They were totally dominant with Marty Tapau and Adam Fanau-Blake on the field. Yep. Totally dominant. Melbourne could not stop either of those two.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Trent Barrett takes both of them off at the same time.
Yeah.
And Melbourne start to get a roll on. I didn't quite understand that.
Yeah.
And then he didn't start the second half with them, and he brought them both on very late in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm confused by that. I really am.
263 metres, man.
Yeah.
For how many minutes? We got it there? 58 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Where's the
Is it
minutes?
58? No,
there,
next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, 56 minutes.
Yeah.
He was just a monster, and he was getting great offloads away. It was fantastic.
Tom and Jake were good again.
Yeah, they looked tired towards the end of the game though.
Look, you know, honestly, Melbourne were lucky to win.
And they've been lucky a couple of weeks in a row.
They have.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to GIO Stadium, where the Canberra Raiders beat North Queensland 38-12, and I am over backing North Queensland.
Did you back them?
Yes, I did.
This is one of the ones I got right.
I thought the Raiders showed enough. I thought at home, and look, poor old Cowboys went from 28 degrees to -3.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, it took a while for the Raiders to hit their straps.
Yeah.
You know, it was a pretty even game for the first half. It would have been three tries to 2.
Yeah, it was.
And they turned it on at the end of the game.
Oh yeah. I thought it was. Yeah, it was tough. That was a tough game.
Rapana, he's back from injury, and they look like world beaters.
Yep. And now they've lost Croker.
Yeah, that's a huge blow.
And that's massive for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the wingers scored 5 tries out of their 7, so they're obviously spreading the ball well.
Yeah. Michael Oldfield, the journeyman, scores a triple at hat-trick.
Is there any clubs he hasn't played for?
Just to tell you, he was fast when he got out in open field. He was fast.
Another Manly junior we let go.
Yeah, well, that's your fault.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, he was ours first.
Originally?
Yeah.
Well, 6 or 7 clubs ago.
Yeah. No, first he was ours.
Yeah, I think he was signed to the Roosters, and I don't think he played a game.
He played 1 or 2.
I think he lasted about 6 weeks.
The
Roosters.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that was anyway. Yeah, you're right. But now, what do we say about the Raiders now that Jared Croker's gone?
I still don't think they're going to make the semis, but we'll talk about that.
Well, it's harder. It's definitely a lot harder now.
Yeah.
For them to get to semis. I enjoyed that game though. I love watching the Raiders when they're in flight.
Yeah, but what do we say about the Cowboys? You know, Jonathan Thurston, final year of the NRL, and the Cowboys can't put it together at all.
No, I think they've planned poorly for succession. I mean, Michael Morgan getting injured didn't help them, but I think their succession planning has been poor because you know Gavin Cooper's getting old. Scott's not playing.
Coots getting old.
I mean, Tamalolo's how old? 25 something.
Yeah, no, I think he's playing as good as he ever was.
No, but they need to have people coming up behind him.
Oh well, then you got Cohen Hess. He goes all right. John Astardi. Asiardi. Yeah, you know
that one.
bloke.
Yeah.
I think Team Maria Martin. He's up there.
I mean, he works hard, but I think he's just too light in his position.
Okay, let's move on to what would probably be considered the upset of the round.
Oh yeah.
That
or the next game.
Suncorp Stadium, where the Warriors beat Brisbane at Suncorp 26-6.
Oh.
Brisbane obviously did not turn up.
I can honestly tell you, if I pick the Warriors, I'm not picking the Warriors again. So you guys, they're going to win every game to the end of the season. I am not picking them again.
We did say that last week that they probably would win every game.
I didn't tip them either, but I was so pleased to see the Broncos get humiliated.
I can't argue with that.
I love it.
No. You're not supposed to say that, Tom. You're supposed to say we support.
I don't like the Broncos. It's in his top 4, but I do not like the Broncos.
I don't like Parramatta. Or Melbourne.
Yeah.
You people are sad.
Or Brisbane.
So, are the Warriors back?
No.
Or the Broncos were just that bad? Because honestly, I think the Broncos were just that bad.
Oh, look, I think the Warriors really put in. Isaac Luke was superb again.
Yeah. He's been their best player all year. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny, you know, when the Warriors click, gee, they look like world beaters.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's when their forwards get a roll on, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Their forwards really, Gavitt, Parsi, Papali'i, as they call him.
But they do get dominated against a bigger pack. They do get dominated.
But tonight they were good. Jaden Sewell injured. That was a big blow for Broncos. Yeah, and McCulloch. I mean, he was woeful on the punch, but it's unusual to see him starting a blue.
So tell me why he didn't even get cited.
Because he missed.
I don't know.
He missed. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you throw a blatant punch, regardless of whether you hit or not,
I'm the one that's been saying intent is everything.
That's right.
Honestly, and you keep saying no, it doesn't actually connect.
No, I'm the one who keeps saying
intent.
that. Steve agrees with you.
Yeah. Intent is important.
But the NRL agrees with you, Tom and Steve. They say that it's all about intent. So why isn't he cited?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a strange decision.
I can tell you why.
Tell us.
It's Brisbane. They're like Melbourne. They're owned by the game. They've got to be successful.
Okay. Move on to Jubilee Oval, where St George Illawarra went down to the Tigers 20-16, and I got to tell you, the last 10 minutes of this game, I really thought that the Dragons were going to do it,
and they wouldn't have deserved it.
No, I don't.
They would have deserved to win that game.
There was a try that was disallowed that Benji Marshall.
That was too good. That was too good for the refs.
I was say that. Yeah. He was too good for the refs,
and yet they missed the Manly one.
I don't know. I don't know.
That pass was just too good. They must have looked and thought that can't be backward.
Yeah.
It was just too good.
Because honestly, I looked at it 4 times on the replay when they kept replaying it, and I couldn't pick the forward pass.
No, of course not.
No,
I could not pick it.
And it was caught by Cheekham, who had a terrific game too. Young fella.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Michael Cheekham.
another ex-Manly player.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I don't know why you keep bringing this up, because it just makes it look more embarrassing.
It's very hurtful, I tell you. Because we're Manly's struggling, and they've got all these players who are doing great that are elsewhere.
You barely have a junior in your team, but they're all playing elsewhere.
Excuse me, we do so.
Robbie Farah.
Yep.
What a terrific game.
He had a good game. Yeah, good on him.
He basically set up their 3 tries.
Yeah. No, I thought he had, and look, between him and Marshall, they had a really good game.
I thought Brooks was good.
Yeah. So they've got the real workings of a good spine now. With Mbai, who had a bit of a quiet game, but
I don't know. He looked dangerous on a couple of occasions.
Well, maybe compared to what you expect from him in the Dogs team. So
yeah, but when he did chime in, it was good.
I thought the whole team were back to that first 5 weeks form.
What happened to St George? They
looked tired from the very beginning. They just looked lacklustre and disinterested and tired.
Do you think it was complacency, or do you think there was something?
Well, they got thumped by Melbourne last week.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they've had their Origin,
and they've had a bunch of blokes out for Origin, and then the New Zealand England Test match. They've had a tough run.
Yeah, you know what? So did Souths. So did the Roosters.
But Souths, like you said, Souths aren't coming out on fire either.
No, they're not.
And let's face it, they only beat the Dogs.
But they're scoring points. St George honestly didn't even look like they were going to score points.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yes, they came on at the end, but honestly, and they did the same against Parramatta. Remember, Parramatta were almost going to beat them. Until they had a flurry of points at the end.
That's true.
So
I don't know.
I'm worried for St George and Barry. I know you're not going to like me saying that, but
Barry would have been the first person at the beginning of the season to say, "Yeah, let's not get too excited," because that's unfortunately, Barry. That's the Dragons fans' mantra, isn't it? I mean, they go well for the first half of the season, then everybody just starts to wonder what's going to happen, and
I mean, they're certainly not out of it.
They're still in third position, so geez, they're
equal second.
Yeah, well, whatever that means. I think they're third on the table. Yes, so I think that was a good win by the West Tigers. I think they got back to some of their fundamentals that have made them be playing well this year.
All right. Yeah. So let's go on to the last game of the round, which was on Sunday night. Gold Coast Titans against the Sydney Roosters. Roosters winning 20-12.
Yep.
With the most controversial try of the weekend.
No doubt.
Unbelievable. I mean, you could not have a more blatant knock on that the refs allowed.
Look,
the bunker allowed.
I'm comfortable with that not being a try, okay? But the argument was that it was stripped, which means it's play on, and then the ball is forced onto the post, which is theoretically backwards. Comes down, he grabs it and puts it on the ground. So that's the argument that they use.
But it's wrong. And I'll tell you why it's wrong.
It's wrong because the rule book says it.
Because the ball was his hand was still on the ball as it came away from the post.
Right.
So now I know what they're saying, and
no, he actually reefed the ball and it was on the post as he was reefing the ball.
But you can't deny the post is there. I mean, that's like saying if as a player I've got the ball and I run into the post, then pretend the post isn't there, it's a try. Mm-hmm. So you can't. The post is there. His hand ran down the ball, on the ball, down the post, and it came off and it hit the ground, and then he... there's no way.
Look, I would have been...
If that's a try, then...
I would have been happy with that not being a try. They gave it a try. The point is, we won by 8 points. It wasn't a converted try difference in the game. So
it was only 2 points.
It was a momentum change.
Possibly. But in the end, we won by more than the converted try.
No. But I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying
the other thing that's important is we had Tedesco out. We had Cordner. We were missing Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah.
We had no Mitch Orbison.
Cooper Cronk.
Massive Cooper Cronk. And we had 3 debutants, all who scored. Mm-hmm. As much as you might think Sean O'Sullivan's wasn't a try, but we had three players on debut scoring tries.
But why are you defending him? I'm not attacking the Roosters.
No.
I'm just saying it was a dumb decision.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you know what? The Titans had their Origin players out as well.
Yeah. They had Wallace back. Jai Arrow was injured.
Yeah. Well,
the Titans will not win without Jai Arrow. He's their heart.
But they weren't missing too much. What they were missing was an Ash Taylor in form.
Well, that's right. And the Roosters had a choice to play those players.
Absolutely, so. and they banked on them. And Trent Robertson's comment in the press conference was, "I've seen these guys. I've seen how they played. I'm willing to take that." Well, he didn't need to say take the risk. I'm willing to play without my players to give them a rest because obviously that's good forward planning. And they did a job for him. I think they were terrific. I think it was a terrific performance.
Not denying the Roosters win, I just think that was the dumbest decision I've seen all year.
Yep. I'm not going to let it take away from the fact that we won a tough game that we could have let go, and it's put us into the top 4, which was very, very important at this stage.
Let's talk the ladder.
Do the ladder.
Brought to you by Rock Australia Radio.
Thank you, Don.
Can I say that with an echo? Rock Australia Radio.
You can try, but...
in first position on 28 points, we have the Steve Sade Rabbitohs, South Sydney Rabbitohs. Sorry,
thank you.
Actually, same. The SS Rabbitohs.
Yes. In second position, we have the Storm on 26. The Dragons have now dropped to third with 26 points. The Roosters have moved up to fourth position with 24 points, followed by the Panthers and the Sharks and the Warriors, also on 24 points. Your top 8 is rounded out by Brisbane with 22. Canberra Tigers 18, Knights 16, Titans 14. Oh my goodness, the Sea Eagles 12. That's hurtful. Dogs and Cowboys on 10 points, and the Parramatta Eels with the wooden spoon now on 8.
What is interesting at the moment in the 8, particularly down this bottom of the 8, is the for and against. You've got 3 teams on 24 points and the Broncos on 22. The Broncos on 22 are 4 points ahead of the Raiders. The Raiders are looking in better form than the Broncos at the moment, and they've got a plus 62, and the Broncos have got a minus 26. So if it gets close with games, it's not going to be looking good for the Broncos.
It won't get close, mate. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, you just don't know. And unfortunately, the West Tigers, they're minus 49, so they're really falling out of contention. They'd have to win a lot, and Broncos and Warriors would have to start losing.
Tigers would have to win every game.
And the Broncos and Warriors would have to start losing.
Yeah,
and that seems unlikely.
Okay.
It looks like this is the 8, pretty much, with the possibility of the Raiders.
Okay. Gentlemen, there's a game that happened through the week that we haven't talked about yet. And that is State of Origin.
Wow.
Queensland winning the 3rd State of Origin.
It seems such a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, thankfully we've now moved on to the real football.
Oh yeah, we just discussed it a lot on Facebook, didn't we? What would you like to say, Steve?
Well, I'm asking you, you happy with the result?
No.
Justifiable?
No. On so many levels, it's not right.
But they won fair and square?
They did.
Look, first half was a fabulous defensive effort by New South Wales.
That's the best half I've ever seen from New South Wales ever.
Yeah.
Yep. Agree.
Fabulous. And look, they just ran out of petrol at the end. I was...
Yeah. It was sad, really, but you've got to give him credit. That was sensational.
You know what? Queensland in the first half, I mean, great defensive effort by New South Wales, but good football by Queensland to constantly be finding the in goal to get those repeat sets.
Yep. Why doesn't Cherry do that for Manly?
I wanted to ask you that.
I don't know.
For the last 4 weeks, we've been saying every time he gets into a position, he kicks for the sideline.
Yeah.
And now he was popping them all over the... Man. I don't...
But that happens to good players when they play in a team of exceptional, like an exceptional team of stars. You raise the level quality of the team. That's not to put any aspersions on man. Just you get in the cream of the crop in the Queensland New South Wales side. That makes it easier for a good player to play better.
I tell you, it's strange because you're right. In clubland, Cherry Evans has that ability, and he kept kicking for touch against the Storm.
Maybe he doesn't trust his team the way.
But it's not about trust, though.
I don't think it's that. I mean, he either has a choice of putting the kick over there or putting the kick over there. He more often chooses this one in the club game.
But maybe because he doesn't expect his players to be able to do what he wants them to do.
Well, maybe.
Whereas he expected that from their own
like
players.
I said, maybe that's coaching. Maybe he was told, you get down there, you get us repeat sets. That's your job.
Well, I've got to tell you, I thought he was the man of the match.
Cherry Evans.
Yes, on that night. But
I could probably live with that.
There's been a lot of discussions about Billy Slater winning the man of the series.
Yep. And it is based purely on numbers, and I don't think that is a valid way to justify
even if
the
it's
decision.
based on numbers, it doesn't make sense. And you know what?
No.
My issue personally is the NRL is copying black eye after black eye after black eye. You know, the fans are disgruntled. People aren't going to games. We're frustrated with referees. We don't understand what's happening with the salary cap. There's all of these issues, and then the best game of the year. And it comes down and they say, Billy Slater, man of the match. And Todd Greenberg comes out and says, votes are all confidential. It's 3 blokes. And all of them have said, don't attack our integrity. Well, you want to be transparent. You want to show us you've got integrity. Show us how it was done.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, I have lost respect for those 3. If they think...
Oh, that's a big
No, it's not. I really don't have respect for Laurie Daly or Mal Meninga. So it's only Darren Lockie's now lost me.
This is not the views of the show.
Just Bryant's.
Just Bryant's.
I'm just frustrated with so many things that are happening around the NRL at the moment and the lack of transparency. I mean, look at us. We're just three punters who love the game, love our clubs. Nothing from the NRL. The NRL will not justify any decision. They will not come out and say they've made a mistake. They will not tell the average punter what changes are being made, how the decisions are made. It's frustrating.
Don't you think that Laurie, Mal and Darren Lockyer would have thought the same thing? Here it is. So we've done all the scoring. we now have a guy who's topped the scoring, only played 2 games.
Yep.
Wasn't really the best in all of those games anyway. And I get what they're saying. They're saying New South Wales divided up the votes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the best for Queensland 2 games out of 3, so therefore he polled higher.
But I don't even think he was.
Well, I didn't think he was either.
But that's it. So show us the votes.
Yeah.
If they say, if we go, you know, if Laurie and Mal gave it to Slater and Lockyer went, well, you know what, Val Holmes was better in this game, then we kind of go, oh, okay, well we get that.
Yeah.
You know, just don't. They keep us in the dark and they want us to keep supporting their product, which we do.
So who was your man of the series?
Look, and I hate to say this, I think my man of the series was it was a toss-up between Tom and Damien Cook.
Yeah,
I think those two were absolute standouts.
Why not Tedesco?
I think Tedesco had a brilliant game 1, and I think even then, I said at the time, I'm tossing up between him and Tom in game 1 anyway.
I thought during the game, I thought Tom Trbojevic has been the most consistent performer of the whole series. I mean, Val Holmes was a close, but then you see Valentine Holmes when he's running into space. I don't watch the little things that he does. He did some big things. But Tom Trbojevic, I'd like to see what his hit-ups were for those 3 games and what his meterage was. He scored 2 tries. He was everywhere. And you know, I think Tom's tremendous, and he had to suck it up for not being fullback, and he took on the winger's job
and he
with distinction.
I thought he took it in well.
It's absolutely sensational.
Yeah, mind you, I did notice there were a lot of the time he was playing in the centres with James Roberts. Out on the wing, which made a lot of sense. But yeah, I thought Tom was great.
So who's your man of the series?
I probably would have gone for Cook, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Look, I thought just consistency.
I don't think his second game was as good as his first and his third.
But you know what?
They closed him down.
They closed him down.
But if they closed him down, then he can't be the best on the field.
I thought he was still very good. He just didn't get the breaks he got in the first. Anyway, State of Origin is over for another year. New South Wales have won.
Yep.
And let's move on to next year and do it all again.
Brad Fittler, by the way, said that he said Tom was his favourite for the three games.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to round 19, gentlemen. We're getting close to the end of the season.
Oh.
I know, it's sad.
It is sad.
Thursday night will be Parramatta Eels against the Canterbury Bulldogs at ANZ Stadium, and I know, Brian, you're about to say, who cares?
No, I really do care.
Supporters out there who do.
I am in dire need of the Bulldogs winning. I need to keep Parramatta at the bottom of the table. They need the spoon.
They need the spoon.
Well, my club doesn't need the spoon. They need the spoon.
This is a toss of a coin.
Yeah.
It is.
This is an absolute toss of the coin.
Yeah.
Because I think they're both at the same sort of terrible level. And it depends on who shines on the night. I'm actually tempted to tip the Dogs because I actually think the Dogs have got more desire at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Well, the Dogs. I'll tell you what the difference is that I see is that no changes are being made to the Parramatta team. They dump one centre.
Yeah.
You know, and really, it's the same team. The Dogs have gone. You know what? We're going with youth. And they've got a bunch of young blokes who are there, and they know that the end of this year, the Dogs are going to have money to buy in some players.
Yeah.
They are working their backsides off to their best of their ability. It is about desire, and I think the Bulldogs do have more.
All right, I'll be going to the Dogs as well. Southern Cross Group Stadium, where the Sharks meet the Raiders on Friday night.
Apparently the Raiders have a very, very good record against the Sharks away at Shark Park.
At Shark Park.
So on that basis, for no other real reason, I think I'll be going the Raiders. I actually think they're pretty well matched, these two.
Yeah.
They both had pretty good performances this week, but I think I'm going to go the Raiders on pass record.
I think I have a problem with going against the Sharks at Shark Park, I must admit.
I think I do as well.
We beat them at Shark Park. I'm sure they've lost a few other games.
You're a higher team. This is a lesser team.
Do you that?
You are higher. You're in the
You're
top
higher
4,
table.
Tom.
I mean,
You're in the top 4.
No. He said the Roosters are a higher team.
You're in the top 4.
He just doesn't
That's
give
accurate.
those kind of.
No, it wasn't a
give those
compliment.
kind-
It wasn't a compliment. It was just
I'm taking
it was
as
a
that.
fact. The
I'm
Roosters
taking
are in
it
the
as
top
that.
4.
Yep, that's right.
Oh my goodness.
geez, you must be
It's on
desperate.
film.
If you want to take that as a fact, other than a fact, you must be desperate.
No, I'm not desperate at all.
I'll be going the Sharks at home.
Yeah.
As if my tips matter.
Yeah, look, don't follow us at all.
Me.
Okay, all right.
How many did you get this week? 4?
Four, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Three
I
on my
got
joke.
5.
3 on my joke around.
Yeah, but you're still a mile behind.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Suncorp Stadium on Friday night as well, where the Broncos play the Panthers.
The Broncos back on Friday nights, as per usual, being looked after. I'll go the Panthers,
Well, they had a 5-day turnaround this week.
Yeah.
which was more than anyone else.
Well, I'm just saying that you're saying they're being looked after.
They are being looked after. They had a bigger turnaround than my club.
What?
5 days is the
5 days.
minimum time.
I was talking from State of Origin when all of the Manly players were involved.
Irrelevant.
We only have 3 good ones.
Now you're clutching at straws. Come on.
Panthers.
Oh, I don't know.
Panthers. I reckon the Panthers comfortably. Come
So
on.
the Broncos always bounce back from a bad game.
And at Suncorp, how do you back them?
I don't want to tip either of them, honestly.
Because you hate the Panthers as well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, not as much as I hate the Broncos.
Oh dear.
But the Panthers are better
Good to see
placed.
we run the show on fact, not on what our
I did.
opinions is.
I said the Panthers comfortably. I think the Panthers will win by 10.
Okay. All right.
Tom?
I'm going to have to go the Broncos. I don't want to.
And Steve, we don't need to ask your tip.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I already
Obvious.
said probably the Broncos.
Probably the Broncos.
Probably. We all know you're going to
You
pick
put
it.
that probably in just to show a little bit of I'm not biased.
I'm not biased. Okay, Newcastle on Saturday afternoon. Newcastle Knights against the Gold Coast Titans at McDonald Jones Stadium.
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Whoa! That very rarely happens out there. All 3 of us agree. Usually I'm out there on my own.
Which means Titans will come back and have
That's
have
right.
it lined
And
up.
win. Okay, ANZ Stadium on Saturday afternoon as well. West Tigers against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This is John Sutton's
Sutton's
300th game.
So I'll be wanting to win for him.
Yep. Mind you, Souths do not do well in milestone games, I can tell you.
Neither do the Tigers.
This will be a real test for the Rabbitohs. If the Tigers show the form they showed last week, you'd have to still think the Rabbitohs will probably win it.
Yeah, look,
but I actually think that this is going to be close.
Oh, so do I.
look, the Tigers are rank outsiders, and I really don't understand how. I think they're. I don't think they can beat them, but they'll come close.
Well, I tell you what, if South start the same way they have the last 3 weeks, the Tigers will put 12 points on them before they know it.
Yep.
And then they'll have to claw that back. Now,
Which
South can do that.
Which they can do.
But, I tell you what, this game worries me.
When's Greg Inglis back?
Not for a few weeks, another 2 or 3 weeks. This honestly, this game is a South supporter. This one worries me.
It should.
This will be Rabbitohs.
And not only that, Robbie Farah will be playing against South, who only a few weeks ago he was playing for South.
So you'll know all your calls, all your plays.
Rabbitohs by 2.
Yeah.
By 2?
Yeah, it won't be by much.
No.
If they win, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers got up, but I'll be going the Rabbitohs.
Yep.
Can you go Tigers for me?
No.
Seriously, come on.
No.
Just go Tigers.
No.
They could
Just say
win.
it now and change your tip later.
Yeah, no, obviously I'll be
You
going
do that
Tigers.
every other week, don't you?
Look, we do this show before the teams are announced.
That's right. Okay, let's go on to 1300 Smiles Stadium at North Queensland, where North Queensland play St George. I'm sorry, I have to go St George.
Oh, yeah.
The Dragons play that bad again.
The Dragons will bounce back and win by 1 million.
No.
Sorry, Dragon supporters.
That's the.
Well, I tell you what, if they don't win, they're going to be.
They'll be sliding down the ladder. Okay.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a Cowboys win. It'd be good for me.
Dragons win.
All right, Mount Smart Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Warriors against Melbourne Storm.
You don't tip the Warriors.
You're going for Melbourne. Melbourne will win this.
I'm going to tip the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I think if they can bring the form, The Storm haven't been convincing. They've been winning, but they've not been convincing. The Warriors on their day like last week.
They scored 50 against the Dragons last week, the week before. What do you mean not convincing?
Yep. Oh, they're not convincing.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I know how he does it.
And still I'm here.
And still he's here, that's right. 19 weeks later. Okay, what about
4
the last...
years later.
Yeah, that's true too. The last game of the round at Lotto Land.
Match of the round, this one. Hey, Tom?
Oh, look, it's going to be tough. I mean, anytime you play
Manly Sea Eagles against the Sydney Roosters. Okay, now go.
Anytime you play Manly at Lotto Land is a tough game. You know, there's no doubt about that. And the good news is we'll get all of our players back who've been rested for a few weeks, which is good. I'm glad.
I'm going to lean towards Manly at the moment.
Oh, no.
I get that.
No.
I want to see if Cooper.
And I think Manly always live for the Roosters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they live for Melbourne too, and we still we had to play the ref then too.
Okay, question without notice.
Ooh.
Are you two gentlemen going?
Well, my wife is interested in going. She's a Manly supporter sometimes. She doesn't watch the show, thankfully.
Yeah, when they're winning.
I did actually ask Brian.
Yeah. I'm thinking I will. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking likely, very likely.
Okay. It's a horrible place to watch football. That's all.
Oh please!
Look, I didn't hate I didn't hate.
Look, let's face it. There'll be 3 men and a dog there, so there'll be plenty of room to sit.
Well, there won't be any Roosters supporters there, so you'll be fine.
Oh, seriously, just give it up.
Look, just before we go, I want to touch on something that happened during the week. Have we got much time?
No.
Okay. Manly was
obviously hasn't stopped it though.
No, because I want to apologise.
Oh.
Yep. Manly were this week celebrating or commemorating their 40-0 victory over the Storm.
Yep.
And I thought personally it was in very poor taste.
And
I still bought all the merchandise.
I was going to say, you still came home with a truckload of
so
stuff.
Sally, this is for you.
So Sally, this is for you. And public apology. Look, my club are knuckleheads. For the sake of a few bucks, they embarrass themselves and the game.
So let's face it, they're pretty hard up at the moment.
Did you bring the merchandise so we can look at it?
I was going to and forgot. There's got some great stubby holders. 40. I can't fit into the shirt. I got the biggest shirt they had, and I can't fit into it.
But he's really embarrassed by it. So
yes,
I'm not embarrassed, but yeah, I said on the Facebook page, look, I got sucked in by the 40-0 in Maroon, so I bought it.
So Sally, it's open to you for another comeback on Facebook.
Please don't.
Or on YouTube, whichever.
We hate Billy Slater.
Oh,
I do. I hate Cameron Smith and Billy Slater.
Yeah, I hate Cameron Smith. But
I'd take him in a heartbeat at my club.
Before you get us into trouble, we're going to go off air.
Oh, no, I want him at my club.
Oh, okay.
Cameron Smith, absolutely.
He's not going to man.
Look, the most hated player at the most hated club. It makes perfect sense. Come on, Cam.
Yeah.
All right, Grant. Should I ask you if you've got anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I've got.
You didn't ask about intelligent. You didn't ask about anything intelligent tonight.
No, that's true. you didn't.
He's given up.
I don't get anything intelligent from him. Thank you all. You got anything you want to end with?
No. I'm pleased we're in the top 4. That's it's been a long time coming. We're glad to be there.
Okay.
Hopefully we stay there.
Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great week, and we'll do it all again next week. Bye bye.